Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it again on episode 8 of Lay of the Land. I'm your host, Noah Lay. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's been a couple weeks since I got on. I'd like to continue having this podcast every 2 weeks with me consistently posting on both my Instagram and TikTok just little bits of information here and there that I think are super important to inform others on and to really help spread this message and fight against the info war that's happening. So please give me a follow on Instagram, Lay of the Land Pod, as well as on TikTok. And like and follow, share to your friends. Really trying to create a movement with the younger generation, the America First generation. Really want to encourage everyone to get out into nature, to fight against the New World Order, to eat whole foods, all the things, and you can see that on my Instagram and TikTok and my other social media. So lots to talk about today. Lots has happened since I've done my last episode, but there's really one key story that I want to talk about tonight that I think that you guys are probably seeing what I'm going towards. But this is definitely want to break on the story. It was broke 8 days ago. The Peter Thiel, his secret society dialogue, where they hold secret meetings, and this has been going on since 2006. So crazy stuff. This literally confirms everything that us conspiracy theorists have been saying for years, about the New World Order and the plotted attack against the common folk or the working middle class. And this shows that there's still groups like the Bilderberg Group. Then there's other groups like this. There's not just the big names like the Freemasons, the Bilderberg Group, and some of those others. There are secret societies all throughout history, and they're still happening today. But yeah, like I said, a lot like the Bilderberg Group. This it was fun. It was founded in 2006 by both Peter Thiel and Hoffman. So members, like I said, reportedly includes senators, military commanders, diplomats, AI executives, hedge fund managers, and Silicon Valley founders. And we'll dive into that list later as we get on into this podcast. But just want to do a general overview. And like I said, comparable to Bilderberg Group, but this is mainly centered around AI and the future of governance around the country and then around the whole world. And this information is directly cited from Wired. So you're going to see me looking throughout. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see me looking, directly from the source, Wired. They're the ones who broke this story, and the person who actually exposed the dialogue directory and this whole story is the Swiss hacktivist Maya Arsen, I think is her name. I may be saying that wrong, but anyway, she's a Swiss activist, journalist, and a security researcher, but she's known for exposing the U.S. no-fly list data. So pretty cool. This is a great story. People have been asking. There have been reports of asking about members of this list for years. They've kept in hiding for just at 20 years, and they actually have an upcoming seminar. I think it's somewhere in Germany in August, or one of their discussions, however you say. But why does this matter? It matters because it shows that there is a revolving door now. And this has been happening for years, but it's so much more clear now between big government, the government, because all the government's big in America, and big tech, which obviously Palantir is one of the biggest, the biggest tech companies in the world, if not the biggest, because the defense contracts, all the things, and mainly the defense contracts within the military or within the United States, because they're a prime source of the military-industrial complex now, especially since Trump's been in there. They're big buddies. But this the leak really just highlights, industry leaders are increasingly occupying the elite industry. The elites. The elites are the ones who occupy these main sources of power. Obviously, that's what this whole thing's about. I wanted to dive into specifics. I think I got right here around 10 people named. I think there's over 200 that have been named, but these were some that spoke to me and that I think that you guys will be very interested in hearing. Like I said, all sorts of government officials, defense leaders, executives from companies that are all involved within surveillance, AI, and data brokerages. So obviously Peter Thiel, a venture capitalist, entrepreneur, co-founder of Palantir and PayPal. Oren Hoffman, the founder of SafeGraph, and that's within the data analytics and advertising technology. Elon Musk, obviously CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Ted Cruz, neocon, loves Israel. Okay, he's in here. Cory Booker, another neocon, U.S. Senator. Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado. Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. Jared Kushner, Mossad agent, Trump's handler, if you will. But he's the former senior White House advisor and investment executive. Obviously, Jared Kushner is Trump's handler, and he had his hand in what was going on with the whole Iran situation, which is still ongoing. Joe Lonsdale is the founder of, is one of the co-founders of Palantir, so obviously had to throw him in there. Scott Bessent is a hedge fund manager and government official in finance, and then Alexis Ravinkwich is a 4-star Air Force general and NATO commander. So you get the gist here. They're all within government, within high wielding powers. They're all elites, pretty much. This is an elitist networking event, and that's what this is meant to do. I want to show you that they're doing it right, or they're not doing it right in front of our faces here. It's actually behind closed doors. But we deserve to know what goes on when all of our leaders and the people that our leaders are funding are meeting behind closed doors, and they're talking about some crazy stuff, man. Let's see. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. So it's not like they were just talking business and, economics and things like that. It was more about power, influence, and relationships within this networking or this elitist network. So according to this post, or to Wired's reporting, the dialogue breakout sessions included some of the weirdest ones is, a whole entire breakout session on World War III and how AI is going to be implemented within World War III, how we're heading to that, all sorts of things. How to build a cult was one of them. And I think one of the largest Christian website developers, he was in on this particular one, which is kind of scary to think about. And then one was about sex life, your sex life within this elitist network. So those were some of the three that stood out to me. These elites are literally getting together talking about World War III, how to build a cult, and then their sex lives. Very weird, crazy stuff. This is stuff you would see out of a movie, people. It's real, okay? And the leaked records show that Dialogue was designed to be more than just a networking conference. It's supposed to bring together these leaders so they then can get intertwined on a personal and a philosophical level. They want to become, these elitists, they want to become one, and they want to dominate the world past their lives. So through this, and we'll get into this, but they are wanting to transcend time and reality, okay? So these elitists, they think that meeting together and talking these things and all these new advancements in AI, they think that they're going to be able to implement a digital society, and they think that they're going to live forever and always be in power, which obviously we know that's not true. That's not going to happen because Christ won't let it. But another main point here is that AI is the new it's the new organization of the elite. It used to be, well, it still is, but it used to be just the banks and political power and things like that. But now it's not as much the people who hold the power, the people that have the largest advancements in AI, the more technological advancements in AI. They're saying we're having an AI race with China. We always have to have some sort of enemy. China's the enemy, for whatever reason. I know there's reasons, but we have some other bigger fish to fry, if you will. But according to some of these the registration materials for the actual group, they just discussed on AI and their impact on jobs, war, education, and then even society. And the predictions are about mass labor displacement and even AI-driven geopolitical instability. So it's very interesting seeing that the very people that push and push this AI, you got to have it in everyday life. We want to take your jobs. They're the ones that are saying, it may actually shift the geopolitical scale across the world. That it shows you that they really don't know how deep they're getting with this technology, and that's why a lot of people think that this technology was given to them from a supernatural force. Some people even think the Nephilim. I don't know, but it shows that these powerful institutions are preparing for something bigger. Okay, a future shaped by AI and AI alone. People dying because they can't feed themselves anymore, because they can't afford food due to AIs displacing all their jobs. Okay? They're preparing for this. They want you to die, and they want to live for eternity. All right? But we know that's not true. We know because of this information war that we're going to fight back. We're going to fight back against the AI data centers. Okay? We're going to fight back against the surveillance state that's currently happening with the flock cameras. We'll talk about that next week. We're going to fight back. This is not George Orwell's 1984, okay? It's not. This is, what's a futuristic movie that's good? This is The Lord of the Rings, okay? We're going to throw the ring. We're going to throw it in the fire. Sorry, I'm only on the second movie, but I really like it. We're going to throw the ring into the fire. We're going to throw AI away, okay? And we're not going to implement it into every single thing we do, so it can then not be a crystal ball and predict the future, because that's what these elitists are trying to do. They want you to rely heavily on AI, so then they can implement things within the answers that you're getting, so they then can predict the future and predict what its own sheep society, cattle society is going to do. So just something to think about. But yeah, so even another point that I wanted to talk about in this, and even in the elite system, there's elites to the elites. Okay, so we get in here, we're looking. Dialogue, it just wasn't hosting, discussions. He did the discussion on the Antichrist. Dude, you sound like the Antichrist with this type of thing going on. But it was actively curating who belongs in these elite networks. So I'm going to read this because this is kind of confusing. But so Wired reported that, or the Wired reporting revealed that there's internal ranking systems within the Dialogue secret society. So they are even like there's seating charts based on influence, prominence, and who perceived to have the most value within the network. That's what this whole thing was about. So you could even get your membership taken away if you didn't have enough power, influence, and I'm sure money as well. But Dialogue also reportedly used data to make introductions and even determine on who else was going to get invited, obviously. And then, this is very interesting. Within the network, there was also a matchmaking system for their members. And apparently there was even an app that was made for the members. Like I said, they were talking about their sex life. They wanted everyone to be entwined into one The elitists want to marry other elitists so they can have elitist babies and God knows what with them. God bless those children. So very, very important to know this. Okay, very important. They only want to be with other elitists. They don't care about us. We're dirt on their shoe. Okay, and people think, that it's the Democrats that are so bad, or it's the Republicans that are so bad. No, people, wake up. All right, it's not that. It's the top 1% billionaire elitists, like these people we're seeing here. Okay, a lot of them are neocons. I get it. All right, it's not making the Republican Party look so good, but the Democrats are bad too. Okay, they are also involved with Epstein. Both sides are. This all ties in with Epstein. Apparently, I need to pull that up. Here we go. I'm glad I just brought this up. I don't want to quote it wrong, so I'm pulling up the article. Okay, here we go. Okay, here it is. So Epstein mentioned this networking group and thought it was a great idea in one of his emails, in one of the leaked emails. Is that not crazy? Literally, this is all tied together, people. It's all one ecosystem, okay? And then it's like, you cut off one branch and then like 7 more grow, okay? Epstein obviously did not kill himself. Obviously, he was killed. He was murdered because he had a lot of dirt on these people. And, he probably had a ton of information on all these folks, especially with all the the blackmail ring that he was running for, Mossad and for the CIA. Not confirmed, but we think that's what happened. So yeah, even Epstein was involved in this, the dialogue, elitist secret society. So, this has been hidden for 20 years, and I believe that it's the right of the public to know that these people that we have made so rich by consuming everything and by electing these elected officials, I think it is our business what they do behind closed doors when they're talking about things like this. It's crazy to me because it's not even just about who was in these secret meetings. It's that we haven't known for over 20 years, and it just goes to show you what is who knows what's real and what we put in our history books. Who knows what's real in history? All these things are hidden, and this only came out because of technology. If we didn't have technology, we wouldn't have known that the elitists were talking about having sex with each other and taking over the world through cults. Okay, this wouldn't have been confirmed, but this is confirmed through a credible news source, and so people can't say, "Oh, you're crazy. You got that off of some Instagram post." No, people. Check your sources, cite your sources. I really encourage you to go read this article. But like I said, over 2 decades with very limited public visibility into its actual membership, discussions, and even the structure of the society. And then, brought together members of intelligence, members of the military leadership, technology, and then, like I said, was not disclosed to the public. Something that I think is a key takeaway as well is that the people that are mingling within this, it all goes back to the military industrial complex. So the same defense contractors, that need the bills to be passed within Congress, have those congressmen at these networking events, and they are in their ear giving them money so they then can put more money into the defense contract budget. So they're both keeping their pockets heavy. They're both pigs. They're both horrible people. They're both wanting to murder and kill others, especially within Gaza. So that's not part of the point, but you know what I mean. So, but a lot of people would say that it's not our business what these elitists do behind closed doors. That's probably what a bunch of MAGA people or MAGA people would say now. But I'm with Carlson and MTG. I can no longer support the Republican Party. I'm going to be a conservative. I'm conservative on most points, but no longer a Republican. Screw them. Okay, what they did to us. They're now trying to not screw the people, but the party. They're now trying to turn their back on us, or turn back to us, actually, with JD and Trump trying to save face for the midterms with Israel and all that. But pretty much just what this goes to show through Peter Thiel's dialogue, okay, his secret society, it shows that we were right. It shows that you should always ask questions, and you shouldn't think when these ideas come about that it's some crazy conspiracy. Okay, there is an information war going. These billionaires aren't your friends. They don't like you. They think you're cattle and sheep. This was confirmed in the Epstein files. Do your own research. Fight the New World Order. Spend some time with your friends and family, and let's fight these billionaire elitists. Okay, and that fight is through this information war, and we're going to do it together, and I'm so excited. So stay tuned. The next episode we'll talk about flock cameras and flock security cameras, and yeah, stay tuned. So thank you so much, and this was Lay of the Land. Hope you have a great night.